Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel DjemoGraphic. Today's video will be a little bit different as I'm going to answer you viewers' questions. A couple of weeks ago I asked you to submit me questions about traveling, culture, travel experiences and my YouTube journey. So the first question was asked by Kevin Masters from Australia, and he wonders how I got into YouTubing. Well, Kevin, I do have to say I really love this question. It's actually a very long story, so Kevin, I can already promise you that I'm going to do a full video just answering your question. But in today's video, I'm providing you the short version. So since I was a child, I already loved to do videos. I did my first video when I was 8. Then, when I was a teenager, I learned about editing them, doing effects and so on. And then with 20, I got more into photography. With 22, I started to travel. Then when I was 25, I decided to do my PhD in Singapore in Southeast Asia. And since then, I've been traveling a lot, mostly around Asia. And then in 2018, that was very close to my end of my PhD, when I was in the Philippines with my friend Nato, who is also from that country. He was telling me, Jemo, why don't you think about making a YouTube channel about traveling? I really see that is very much you. And I was like, I'm not too sure. But then my friend actually said, Jemo, I absolutely see you as a YouTuber. You should really try. And I was like, Well, then anyway, after a couple of days and weeks, I was keeping to think about this. And then, finally I decided to give it a try. I uploaded my Brunei video, and that actually has been quite successful for a start, and that's where I'm now. Now I've been YouTubing for almost 2 years. The second question was asked by Aisha Ali from Johor Bahru, Malaysia, and she wonders how my life is different after I've moved back to Switzerland. Well, as you know, I've lived 5.5 years in Singapore in Southeast Asia. I had a fantastic time over there. It has been one of the best times in my life. It has been very life-changing because in fact I started YouTubing while I was in Asia. And now I'm back in Switzerland. Yeah, I do have to say, you see in the background the Alps. This is the place where I belong to. But Asia is also my second home. I definitely can say Asia is a place where I feel very, very comfortable. I really love the peoples of Asia. But what I love the most is probably the diversity and all these native traditions. Well, of course, in Switzerland we also have a lot of native traditions because we have a lot of valleys. Every valley is very different from the other one. But I do miss Asia greatly, and I think I could actually move there in 2 or 3 years from now. Let's see. The third question was asked by Raquel from the Philippines, and she wonders how my travel experience is different after I started YouTubing. Well, I think it's not too different because before I already was taking a lot of photos, which also takes some time. Well, the one photo is just one click. One video can be the work of a couple of seconds to 1 or 2 minutes. So this is definitely different. And because of that, I'm spending more time at a certain location compared as to before. Because of that, I do have to very well schedule now my time, otherwise I'm wasting my holiday, and every minute is actually very precious. So compared to as before, now I do have to do very proper scheduling, otherwise it's actually more or less the same. Justina Apriani from Bali, Indonesia, she wonders which was my first travel destination that I visited in Asia. In 2010 I went to Russia. When I visited Chelyabinsk, technically I've already been in Asia. Well, it's kind of not very clear where they draw the line between Asia and Europe, but I would consider that already being in Asia. In 2012 I visited Istanbul in Turkey. When I crossed the Bosporus to go to Kadıköy, again I was technically in Asia. But what I consider my very first trip to Asia, that is when I went to Kota Kinabalu on the island of Borneo. This trip, I can say, was somewhat what I call life-changing. After that, I decided to do my PhD in Singapore, and yes, without making that decision, I think I would never produce this video, I would never be a YouTuber, you guys would never know about me. So this first trip to Malaysia, this was really something that has been very impacting for me in my life. Abdul Rahman from Southern India, he wonders which is my favorite country that I've traveled to so far. I've traveled to North America, Europe and Eastern Asia, but to the other parts of the world yet I haven't been. My favorite 3 countries that I've traveled to so far would be Japan, Bhutan and Indonesia. I know they're all in Asia, but I do have to say, Asia is just such an amazing place for traveling. So if I would have to choose among these 3, well, then I probably would pick Indonesia. Why? Because Indonesia has many islands, and every island has a different culture. If you're in Bali, then it's mostly Hindu. If you go to Java, then it's Muslim, mixed with a lot of Hindu culture. Western Sumatra is very Islamic. If you go to Flores, that's Christian. Well, and I just really love the diversity over there. Because of the very rich diversity, I definitely can say Indonesia adalah negara yang saya paling suka. This means Indonesia is the country that I like the most. Well, so far Indonesia is my favorite country that I've traveled to. Maybe this may change in the future, but so far I can really say this country is just amazing. Anton from Austria, he wonders how the entire video making process looks from the very beginning to the final product. So there are a couple of important steps that you have to think about. First is to come up with an idea. What story do you want to tell? And then the second is you have to make sure that the A and B rolls that you're recording exactly match with the story. The third one is usually here, that's what I do. I will write a script for the voiceovers that I would record at home. And then at fourth, I'm going to edit the video. So here I put all together A rolls, B rolls, voiceovers, music. And then number 5, I would have to think about a title, especially one that is popular on YouTube. And then of course a thumbnail that is going to drag your attention. The last question was asked by Mateusz from beautiful Poland, and he would like that I tell you something in my mother tongue, which is Swiss German. So I'm going to talk about this beautiful viewpoint. So down there is the River Rhine, and now it's already late summer, it's near to sunset, and this is really one of my favorite spots for hiking. Also, ich stehe jetzt hier bei dem wunderschönen Aussichtspunkt. Hier unten, das ist der Rhein. Und es ist jetzt schon Spätsommer, es ist September und bald ist auch Sonnenuntergang. Aber der Ort hier, das ist wirklich, wo ich am liebsten spaziere. Ich komme da immer wieder gerne an. So this was my mother tongue. It may sound quite funny to you. It's actually a variant of German. It's one of the southern German languages. And here in Switzerland, it's very widespread. We have many different dialects, but I would say mine from Schaffhausen is one of the more neutral ones. This was my first question and answers video. I do have to say you really asked me great questions. They were very interesting. I had a lot of fun answering them. If you want to see more content like this, then please give this video a like. With that, you're giving me great support and you also would encourage me to produce more content like this. Also, please ask me more questions for another video regarding traveling, culture, my travel experiences or my YouTube journey. You can either leave them down in the comments here or you can contact me through direct message on Instagram. Anyhow, I would be really happy to hear from you. The next video will be again about traveling. Until then, please take good care. We're going to see each other very soon.